I was in the store the other day and I heard some older people saying, nobody wants to work nowadays. And I was about to lose my composure in that moment, but then I remembered I could just do it online. And what frustrates me about that statement is that people forget it costs money to go to work. I have to put gas in my car. I have to physically have a car, and then I have to get a car insurance. God forbid I get a flat tire because car maintenance is expensive. Okay, I have to get oil changes every 3 months. And then on top of this, I have to buy soap to clean myself. I have to buy laundry detergent to wash my clothes. I have to put on deodorant just to go to the job and meet their hygiene standards. Just to do that. And it's insane that y'all are saying people don't want to work. How does it make sense for me to go to a job that doesn't pay me enough money to offset the cost I have to pay simply to get there and be there in a presentable state, and then not have enough money to pay the bills that I've incurred, partly because I have to have a car to get here? No, this makes no sense. It's not that people don't want to work, and Zoran Mondani has proven that. In New York City, when they had all that snow, he said, hey, y'all, here's $30 an hour to come shovel some snow. People came out the woodwork, young, old, middle-aged, didn't matter. People was there. Men, women, all of the above. People came out to get that $30. So I think it's pretty clear. People don't mind doing work when they're getting paid money, the right money for it. Okay, I'll come out. That's good money. The reason why people don't want to work is because they don't want to work to just continue to be broke.
If you get a lunch break, find another job. I came across a TikTok where dude was complaining about 30-minute lunch breaks. Bro, you lucky you get a lunch break. That just means you don't make no money. And I hate to say it, but any job that offers a lunch break, you won't get paid enough. You don't get paid enough because all the people making all the money, there is no lunch break. If you own your company, there's no lunch break. You eat when you can. You a doctor, no lunch break. Lawyer, no lunch break. Nurse, no lunch break. Firefighter, no lunch break. Cop, no lunch break. Electrician, no lunch break. Plumber, no lunch break. Yo, they're constantly working throughout the work day. They eat when they can. That's why you'll see a mechanic with a sandwich in his hand and a wrench in the other. That's his lunch break in the middle of his task. If you got a designated lunch break, hey, you're taking lunch from 12 to 12:30, you're not making enough money, papa. You need to find you a job that don't have lunch break. Salespeople, they are the highest paid people in the world. There's no lunch break. When your phone rings or that customer walks in the door, no matter what you're doing, you get up and you service them. Think about that.
You ever been working really hard at work, like you're putting extra effort in on a particular shift, and then you just stop and realize, wait a minute, I'm not getting paid enough to be doing this shit? And the worst part is that when you start doing really good at work, like they really love your work ethic, like you put in the extra effort, right? You're gonna be the first person that they go to whenever they need shit done. And it's very carefully worded the way they tell you good job. Like, hey man, we just wanna let you know, like, great work ethic lately. Like, you've been doing such a great job. You've been coming in, just going above and beyond everything we've been asking to do. Like, we are so proud of you. Basically, they're telling you all the things that you wish like you could have heard from maybe like your parents or other adult figures if you're having issues with like self-esteem. So naturally, it's gonna make you be like, all right, like this feels good. I'm gonna try even harder tomorrow and the next day. They might even give you some more responsibility because they feel that you can take on the extra workload. And that paycheck hits your account and you're instantly bitch slapped back into reality and you realize, wait a minute, I don't get paid enough to be doing this shit or to be trying as hard as I'm trying. And the worst part is if you ever have a bad day from that point forward, after they've built you up on this pedestal, like you're such a great worker who's so reliable, the one time you make a mistake after that, you get the most condescending talk to, right? Like, we know we expect better of you. We know you're better than this. Like, why are you acting that way? Meanwhile, all the other bimbos that you work with show up late on a daily basis. I had this one coworker that would literally show up late every single day with an iced coffee, and they would just not give a fuck. They'd be like, oh, that's just Jill. That's what she does. I'm sorry, what? You ever notice that? You ever notice that every single job, I don't care what industry you're in, is always gonna have 1, 2, or maybe 3 fucking just complete bimbos that will always do shit wrong. They will always fuck up. They will always be like, oh yeah, they're gonna mess up something, and yet they never get any discipline. They never get any, like, talking to. It's just, that's just the way they are. You know what? Fuck that. that. You show up to work, do the exact minimum that you need to do to get your bag, to get your paycheck, and nothing else. Especially if it's a job that like won't even matter to you in 5 years. You're just there as a means to an end. Like, do you not realize if you drop dead today, by the end of the week, they're already going to have somebody filling you in, and that great, that honorable employee that we had that was such a hard worker, they're going to replace before the end of the week if you drop dead tonight, okay? So quit worrying about shit. Just be the plain Jane, regular, mundane person you were born to be.
In a recent video, we talked about people having a hard time finding a job. This has been my experience too in my 20s and also my early 30s before I found YouTube. Getting a job, especially out of college, or transitioning a job mid-profession, maybe in your 40s or 50s, or getting laid off and having to find a new job or profession is quite difficult, especially in 2026. In today's video, we're going to follow up to that topic and talk about jobs that don't pay. And unfortunately, I have a lot of experience in this. I made very little money all throughout my 20s. I was getting $10.75 an hour from 20 years old all the way up to around 25, 26. I was getting like 10-cent raises every year. Then I was getting the grand old increase of pay to 14 an hour from 25 to around 28. Then at 28, I started doing a security job at a hospital. I was getting around 17, 18. Then I got upwards of $19 an hour right before I left at 30 years old. I was struggling to move out of my parents' house. I moved out at 31. I could not afford it. A lot of people in my age also were struggling to afford it, especially coworkers of mine. Maybe you too have your own experience in that. If you do, drop your comment down below and let me know. That being said, in today's video, we're going to see other people's experiences and reactions to their own jobs, the job market, and especially wages. Let's get into it.
Y'all can take things personal if y'all want to. Y'all can feel how y'all feel.
Hey, 20 an hour. I wasn't even getting that. 20 an hour is a freaking dream nowadays, and that's 40K. It's definitely not a livable wage in 2026. But when I tell you, I was struggling to get 20 an hour, and I never got there. Insane. And I'm sure a lot of people are still doing that. And I had a bachelor's degree. Okay? A bachelor's degree, and I never made 20 bucks an hour.
But at the end of the day, bro, it's really just a earning problem. Like,
obviously it's an earning problem, but the jobs just nowadays, jobs want to cut corners so much and save money, and they're laying off workers or having less staff do more work and essentially making every work environment a hostile work environment. People are getting paid less to do more, and that's the big problem with these jobs.
If a job is telling you, well, not necessarily telling you, but if a job is paying you a certain amount of money per hour, that's what they feel that your job is worth. And it's kind of sad, bro, because you're always going to have people say, well, get a job, work a job. Let's just keep it a stack and say, get a job that is going to pay you a good amount of money so that you're not just in survival mode. Because when you put in so many hours of your life into these jobs and you're left with barely making it, is literally not a good feeling.
Yeah, it definitely sucks for sure. And when your job is high stress, they want you working weekends, holidays, it adds to the stress even more.
I really be pissed off when people call other people lazy and say that, oh, you guys just don't want to work. You guys are lazy. No, I'm not lazy, but I am not going to go out here busting my ass working for people and I'm not being paid my worth. Shit, I would scrub toilets all goddamn day if I was being paid a decent amount.
Hell, I would do it if I was getting paid $25 an hour. I would. Just like Step Brothers, I would show up to the interview in a suit, scrubbing toilets, being a janitor. That's the thing. Money, when you give a job crappy money, there's no incentive for the worker to want to show up and be a good worker. They're going to do the bare minimum. And so when you have a lot of workers thinking the same thing, they're underpaid and they're stressed out, you as a manager are going to have more work too, because now you have to micromanage people who don't want to be there, or if they are there, they're doing the minimum because you're not paying them enough to have them feel happy at their job, to want to be proactive, to want to be a hard worker. That's the thing. And that's where people come out and say, oh, you're lazy, you're lazy. Well, if I was getting $10 an hour to do something that my boss wanted me to do that requires someone to get paid like 30 an hour, you best believe I'm going to give a $10 an hour performance. Why the hell am I going to try even more? Right? It just doesn't make sense to me. Now, I've always been a hard worker, and I've never been one to just sell at a job. So if I don't like a job, I will do everything I can to get out of it. But I had a hard time in my 20s finding new jobs. It was impossible for me. I wrote good resumes. Maybe they sucked back then, but I thought they were good. I thought I was pretty good at interviews. I handle myself well. I'm pretty confident. I had experience. I had a bachelor's degree, for God's sakes. When I tell you I got rejected at jobs like Costco, bank jobs like bank teller, all the jobs that people don't want to work at, well, Costco's a good job, but bank teller, like sales positions that are like commission only, I was getting rejected left and right, man. They didn't care. I could not venture out of anything aside from my degree, which was criminal justice. Had to just settle for security. So I get it. I definitely get it. And again, I've always taken pride in my work because I've always thought if you work hard enough, you'll get a promotion maybe, or the manager will lay off on you, or you might get a supervisory role or something like that, or more money. In my case, they didn't watch me as much. I was, obviously had more freedom to do what I wanted. And I didn't get paid more per se, but I had an easier job than most people that would just come in there and do the minimum. So it was a decent trade-off. But again, I was underpaid. And like most people, they do feel the same way with their jobs. How do you feel about your job? Do you feel the income matches your position? Or do you think you're underpaid or overpaid? Be honest.
You know what I'm saying? It's crazy how people think that you can live off $18, $19, $20 an hour.
Exactly. This is why I was living at home with my parents, man. I didn't date much. I drove a pretty cheap car. I had a Subaru Impreza back then. I didn't go out as much because, at the time, it was pointless. Like, I went out like anyone else in my 20s, but then at some point past 25, I was like, I got to get out of the house, man. I got to be an adult here. I love my parents, but I got to get out. I got to be a man. I got to leave the nest. I can't do that by going out on the weekends with that $18 an hour, going to the lounges, going to the clubs, going to the bars, spending, a few hundred in one night. I knew that was not good for me. So eventually I cut it out and I just saved money. I work overtime. I invested. I worked on my side hustles, my YouTube channels. This is my second channel. And eventually my hard work paid off. I wasted so much time trying to find something, trying to make something work. It didn't happen. But eventually I found something that worked. I got motivated. I kept doing it. And it's starting to pay off. I still had that mentality. Job's not finished. This YouTube channel, I want to work on it every day. I try to. Want to grow it as big as possible. I love doing this. My other channels, same thing. I love it. If you love what you do, it's easier to keep working. But a lot of that also comes down to your wage, how much you're paid. And as I've been seeing so far, some people have different opinions. So let's keep going.
So hear me out. The landlords are asking for 3 times the rent.
Mine did too.
But the jobs are not paying so that you can afford 3 times the rent.
And not to mention, when I was doing security, I was getting a 3% raise every year. If I got lucky, if I had a good work performance the prior year, you had to get a recommendation, you get a 3% raise. I know, right? Freaking bullshit. My rent went up almost 6% this year alone. 3%, 6%. Imagine if I was still making that same kind of money. And usually they raise the rent around 3%. In reality, if I stayed there, I'm not getting more money every year. I'm losing money. When you factor in inflation and my rent, my situation would be getting worse. And this is the reality for most people. This is why you have to have a side hustle, maybe a second job temporarily, a partner who works, investments. You got to watch your spending, and then you'll be in a good position to hopefully improve your situation year to year instead of regressing, which is what they want you to do.
But the landlords are still going to ask that. You're still going to ask that when the average job is not even paying a livable wage. I'm trying to figure out where is the part where this starts making sense.
It doesn't. It really doesn't.
And I don't give a fuck about the market price of a motherfucking property. Y'all asking for 3 times the rent does not make sense because the average job is not paying their workers 3 times the rent. I'm not talking about the corporate girlies. I'm not talking about the people who.
This is also why people move in with a spouse or a partner, because they go half and half on the rent. It makes it a little bit easier. But even then, like my rent here is very expensive. This is a crappy apartment, man. It's old. Every time you walk, it creaks. There's roaches in the building. You have to really keep your apartment clean and keep that insecticide spray handy. The faucet backs up. The shower sometimes makes weird noises. The walls are thin. All the knobs break on the cabinets. The fridge broke literally last year for me. The fridge. Lost everything in there. It's really like a rundown apartment, but it's in a good area. Oh, also, I don't have a parking spot or central AC or in-house laundry unit. And I'm spending way over $2,000 a month for a 2-bedroom that's less than 700 square feet. But I'll still take this because I have my independence. I moved out finally, so I'm happy. What is your apartment like? How many square feet? Drop your comment down below if you have an apartment.
Can we just talk about how gross it is that we have like 700,000 federal workers that are being forced to work and not getting paid? And then we have these rich little old assholes up in DC sitting really cute and pretty with their $1 million salaries, and they don't give a shit. They can't.
Yeah, that's politics for you, man. Even when investing, we deal with all these insiders, insider trading. It's rampant. Even in politics, all the way to the top. Even Trump has his own meme coin, man. He rugged it on the community. Insane. Nancy Pelosi, insider trading. You know, I can talk for hours on that. So when it comes to salaries now for jobs, am I really surprised? Hell no.
Do their job and make a decision for the people. I just can't imagine being forced to do my job and go to work and not getting a goddamn paycheck. I'm like, pay these poor people. It's just insane.
Pretty sure this is the second pay period in a row my job just forgot to pay me. And
That's happened to me. And it's never they overpaid you. It's, oh, sorry, we missed you. Next paycheck. Imagine if you're living check to check and they say next paycheck. Your rent's not going to wait for another paycheck. That's what I mean. Oh, it's just a clerical error. Our apologies. That's happened to me numerous times. But thankfully, I was never check to check, so I was okay with waiting. But it's happened to me numerous times. Or I've been underpaid numerous times. One time they paid me for, I'm not joking, 24 hours. And I was paid for 40. It was so large of a difference that I actually noticed it right away. If they had done maybe 5 hours, a few hours, maybe I would have not noticed for one check or two. But it was like half a check. And I'm like, where is my money? Oh, you didn't show up on the punching machine. They had to watch the cameras to prove that I punched in. I was at work. Had my supervisors vouch for me. Ridiculous, man. Ridiculous. They couldn't just take my word for it. I'm like, I didn't call in sick. I didn't take a vacation day. I was here every time. Has that happened to you? Let me know in the comments.
say I'm pretty sure because technically payday is tomorrow, but I always let it, like, it hits my account Wednesday evenings always. So of course that didn't happen. Anyways, 2 weeks ago, my last pay period, same thing, didn't happen. I hit them up on Thursday and I was like, hey, my paycheck is not coming through. And they're like, well, technically the payday is tomorrow. I'm like, I understand that, but it always hits my account 2 days early. And they're like, maybe it's your bank. Anyways, Friday morning comes, my paycheck still doesn't hit my account. I hit them up and they're like, oh yeah, we forgot to pay you. Now we're 2 weeks later. Oh, I had to wait another week to get my check.
See, what a scam, man.
Physical check that I had to go to the bank and cash. Now we're 2 weeks later. Today's Thursday. I did not get paid last night. Didn't get paid this morning. I don't know why I hit them up because I knew what they were going to say. Same shit that they said last time. But I was like, hey, we had this issue before. You did not pay me last time. My paycheck once again didn't come through. And I did check with other employees. I know like a bunch of people.
That's what I would do too. What a freaking nightmare, man. Such incompetence. Like, and it's funny too, because usually HR, they literally just sit there in the office all day, answering phone calls and, you know, doing billing or some type of billing department. Like, your job is to do payroll. That's your job. And funny enough, they always answer the phone like very angry, like you're bothering them. Well, no shit. We're trying to get our money. She's trying to get our money. Your job is to give people their money. So it's like you're getting mad at people for critiquing and saying, hey, your job wasn't done right, that you're being paid to do. Can you please pay me for what I do and do correctly? Let me know if you had an experience like that.
We'll get paid on Thursdays. And I was like, hey, did you all get your paychecks? Like, yeah, our paychecks are totally fine. So I hit them up. Hey, listen, I know the payday isn't till tomorrow, but we have the same issue.
You could tell she's like fed up with it, completely frustrated. I was too, man. You have to like really refrain yourself from cursing them out, because then they'll be like, okay, come in. We're going to have a sit down with you and your boss. And next thing you know, you're getting fired.
2 weeks ago. And you guys were trying to be like, oh, maybe it's your bank, yada, yada, yada. And it ended up being you guys not paying me. And then same thing. Oh, payday's not till tomorrow. So you're going to have to do it tomorrow. And I already know it's not going to hit my account tomorrow. I don't know. Maybe there's a 1% chance it will. But that's the second pay like day in a row that they didn't pay me. They just forgot. Like, how did you just forget? This is
Yeah, such BS, man.
I need to know who the fuck is in charge. Who I need to talk to. Because listen.
She's mad, man. She's really mad.
I'm looking for a new job because I'm sick and tired of the job that I'm fucking at. And I really don't care. Honestly, I don't care. These jobs do not pay enough for what the fuck they be wanting you to do. And honestly, it's like, are y'all employers, are y'all paying attention to the cost of living out here? Are you paying attention to the fact that these groceries everything has gone up, but our fucking pay? I'm sick of going to work I'm sick of going to work.
This is what I said before about if you don't pay your workers enough compensation, enough of a wage, they react like this. And you can tell when she probably goes to work, she's sitting there and she's all like flustered. And then what happens is, say she's doing like a receptionist job. I come in there and say I want to book an employment. She's probably going to give me an attitude because she hates her job because her boss ain't paying her. This has probably been an experience you had too, where you go to a job, say a doctor's appointment or some receptionist, you have to go book something and they cannot be bothered. They hate their life. So guess what? You're in their face. You're going to get that energy towards you now. It's like it just transcends to every single person. It trickles down, right? And again, when you don't pay your workers enough money, they're going to react like this. And more importantly, they're not going to provide much of an effort. And you as an employer are going to have to lay them off and try to find a replacement. And your job is going to be more stressful and harder. So it's a trade-off. You can find a cheap worker that probably isn't motivated, or pay someone a good wage who's going to make you some money back into the company, preferably. But this is how it is today, you know? And I've seen this. I witnessed it. I've been through it. It's a crappy feeling, man. It really is. But you can always strive to do better. And I'm not saying that in some cheesy way. You can. You have to really work on your resume, go on interviews, try branching out, try to get connections. If you're in college, try to find someone that you know that can get you in a good position. It's who you know out here. It's not what you know. It's who you know. And if you're older and you're transitioning to another job or another position, same thing. You got to have connections. And if not, you better be at the top of your game.
Now, I'm sick of going to work and I can barely pay my bills at the end of the month.
Yeah, as you can tell, a lot of people are just pissed off that their jobs won't pay them. Landlords don't care. They still are going to keep raising your rent. And like I said, in my experience, I've had numerous jobs over the years say, hey, here's a 10% raise. I didn't even get a 3% raise until my late 20s. And even then, it was too late. And I was still getting below 20 an hour, but below a livable wage. So you can see the struggle. I kept working at it, trying to find something that I can do, how to make more money. And eventually, I found something that works. And you can too. But anyways, now I want to hear from you. Does your job pay you enough to do what you do? Drop your comment down below and let me know. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. That being said, enjoy the rest of your day.